So, hey you guys, what's up? Welcome back in the new video with new problem, yes. So, it is power of 2. Says that if we give 2 to the power of something, we should get this input. And if we get this input, it is true. Okay, as in this 16, we give 2 to the power 4, we get 16, we'll give it 2. This one. So 2 to the power 0 is 1. We'll give it as true. And for 3, there's no power of 2 that should be given. So in order to get 3, we got 3. So we give it a false. Um, in this, we should go on with the approach. Let's, let's discuss about it now on. So for in order to check a number, if it is the power of 2, let's take as 16, 16, which is power of 2 as 4. It can be written as 2. And if we reverse its function as if 2 divides this 16 and this 2 divides the remaining one. Let's say if this and if we take this 16 as okay, so we take this 2, we divide it by 2, we get 8, we divide by 2, we get 4, then 2 divide by this, and we got here 1 with the last 2. Okay, so uh, uh, this is what we are getting is dividend. Okay, is dividend uh, by dividing by 2. Okay, so um, yes, if this divided by 2 divided by 2 divided by 2, and at the end if it gives 1, we'll consider it as true, or we'll return as true that yes, this number can be divided by 2, or this number is what we get after giving power of 2 something. Okay, so let's move on to the pseudocode that would, if you didn't get this approach, you'll get this one. Let's go on with the pseudocode. Um, First, we'll check for 0. If we are given number as 0, it should be false. So we'll returning it as false. Hmm? If a number is given less than 0, it will also be false because it is a negative number. So this one. And if a number is 1, we'll give it as true, as 2 to the power 0 is 1. Okay, so we'll give it as true. Um, Now, we check on less than 0 means negative, 0 and 1. Now we are left with greater than 1 digits. So for this, we do this, name it as process. We go on with this process, dividing the number again and again by 2 until we get 1. Okay, so and so at the end, as 1 is considered as yes, this 1 is considered as 2 to the power 0, which is true. Okay, so and what is 0? X means something. So if for this process, which will be taking consideration under greater than 1, yes, which is greater than 1. So for this condition, for this process to do again and again, what process? To do divide by 2. To divide by 2 this, then divide by 2 this, then divide by 2 this 4, then divide by 2 again and again. We'll have to for implement a loop. In this, I have taken the while loop as in consideration. So let's go on with it as while for n greater than 1. N greater than 1. Um, First we'll check, let's say if n mod 2 is 0. If it is 0, we'll go on this forward. Okay. So, and if it is not 0, we'll return it as false in the first step. So let's return it as false in the first step. So we'll give it as if n is not mod 2 is not equals to 0. We'll return it as false, and if it is not, oh, we have to check, yeah, we have to check this one, and if it is not, it is not. So we'll what? I've just taken at it as you would not misconsider it as an indentation error or something like that. So uh, if it divides by if the number mods 2 is equal 0 then we'll do the what? We'll return. In this function, in this code, actually, I'm implementing recursion because yeah, from the past week I've practicing some recursion problems. So yes, so in this problem we'll go with recursion, in which let's first write, then I'll explain it to you. Recursion to return n divided by 2. So let's elaborate this thing. So if the number is divide mod by 2 means leaves remainder 0 on dividing by 2. So we'll return it as this. We are returning this to a function. We are returning this to a function. Let's say function name power. So I have to return here, write power here, power and n. We are returning this n by 2 value to this. Then it will check the nth return value to these conditions, these three conditions, as if, let's take example, as I've taken 16. Uh, Wait a sec. If I can, yes, I can do it. Let's erase this part. Let's erase this part. Yes, so yes, let's take 16. As we have taken 16, so it is not, it is not this, not this. So it will be satisfying this condition. It does not satisfy this, does not satisfy this. It will, yes, it is greater than 1. It will enter this loop. 16 mod 2. Yes, it is equal 0. It is equal 0. Then it will return n divided by 2. This returns n divided by 2, which is 8. To this function, this n value will be considered as h again. So again, it will check this condition, then this condition. We'll return right if here. Okay. So this condition, it is greater than 1. Yes, it is greater than 1. So if 8 mod 2, yes, it is equal 0, then it will again return, watch, it will again return this 4 value to this function, and is now 4, and is now 4, n is now 4, 4, again this is greater than 1, okay, this will be divided by 2 again, 2 by 4 is 2, this is greater than 1 again, okay, so n is now 1, n is now 1, when 4 reaches here, 4 is divided by 2, which is 2. Again it comes into this while loop as 2 is greater than 1. 2 is divided by 2 and is returned as with value of 1. With a value of 1. And it checks here. It satisfies this condition. It will return true. Okay? It will return true. Now take an example as n equal 3. Okay? So n equal 3. If we take n equal 3, similarly, n is greater than 1, 3 is greater than 1, okay? In this first if condition, 3 mod 2 is not equals to 0. It will return false in the first freaking step. Yes. that is it. And now we are heading on to this LeetCode web page. Now we'll be trying this and try to run this program. If it runs, absolutely it will, yes. So let's check for n less than and equals to 0 condition. So it will return false. It will return false. It's a problem here. If n is less than equals to 0, it will return false. And yes, if n if n is equals to 0, it will return true. Yes, true. And now the remaining condition is left with, we are left with n greater than, yes, 1. Yes, remember it, n greater than 1. Now we are head on into this one. So we'll go with if n divided by 2 does not gives remainder as 0. So in the first step in the first step um, we'll return it as false. Yes, false. And if it is not, if it satisfies the condition as it gives a remainder 0, we'll return the function. What function? This function. Okay, this let me copy it from here because it's kind of something big. This I'll have to give a self dot here, and I'll be returning here what I have to return. I do not have to return n. I'll have to return n by 2lu because dividing the digit by 2 in every step. So in Python we write it as 2. Let's check for this one. It goes on with the condition as true for 1 and 16 and false for 3. Yes. Okay. This return function, actually the beauty of recursion is we call the function from inside the loop or outside the loop. Yes, it is. We can do anything inside the loop or outside the loop. The thing is, when we return the value of anything, it as we return this n divided by 2 value to this function, it becomes basically n, not n divided by 2. It basically becomes the new value for n, which is n divided by 2 value. So obviously it will be submitting from because I've also practiced. Wait a minute. Um, it repeats 18.24. I'm here. I'm fucking here. Um, my correct in this point of situation. Um, yes, it is right. Everything is, I think, good. Huh. Thank you guys. That is it for today. Thank you. We'll be meeting in next video. Thank you.